What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris, this is 4K Motoring, and today we're going to talk about a technology subject. With the Pixel Watch coming out soon, this has been rumored for a long time, we're finally going to see it. I have mine pre-ordered, it should be in, they said October 13th or 14th, so in about a week. Super excited about that. I want to talk about my Fossil Gen 6 smartwatch that I've had for about a year now. So the Gen 6 smartwatch from Fossil is still their latest iteration. They haven't really come up with a new one since this, of smartwatches from the Fossil group. This has been one of the most pure Android Wear devices that you could buy for the last couple years. They've gone through a couple iterations. This one features just about everything you'd expect in a modern watch. It does have Google Pay features. It has the ability to take and receive phone calls, text messages, has all the GPS stuff built into it, the heart rate monitoring, the blood oxygen monitoring, a lot of the things that everybody wants in a watch and come to expect in a watch. It's been about a year, so I wanted to make kind of an update video to tell you how it's held up and what my experience has been with it over this time period. Overall, I have to say, it's pretty positive. Now, I came to this watch from the Fossil Sport smartwatch, which was their first smartwatch to receive the 3100 processor. The Gen 6 has the Snapdragon 4100 Plus processor. So this is the latest Snapdragon processor that's come out for a smartwatch, and a huge step forward from anything that Android Wear has had before, really. This is still running Android Wear 2.1, I believe, 2.2, something like that. It's a second generation Android Wear device. It was slated to have Android 3.0 and is said to still be getting Android 3.0, but it is now October of 2022 and we still haven't seen it. So take that how you will. Overall, this has been an all-day watch, really. It's not been one that you can leave on to do sleep tracking and use during the day, at least in my experience. The battery life, I've had this on since about 8 this morning. It is obviously about 8 at night, so 12 hours, and I'm down to 50% thereabouts. The battery modes that Fossil has created make this Android Wear platform actually usable, with the ability to basically custom set what features you want on at any given time. And these are all battery usage features. I turn the Wi-Fi off, but usually leave everything else on, and that's how I run from day to day. And I turn the Google keywords off because my phone does that. Everything else in my house does that. I don't need my watch doing it too. I've been a smartwatch user now since the original Moto 360 came out. When that first came out, I was looking at the Pebble watch. Pebble had a color smartwatch they'd just come out with, and that's when I saw that the Moto 360, the first generation, was announced. I purchased that watch right when it was released, and I've been sticking with the smartwatches ever since. I had the Moto 360, the Moto 360 II, I've had the Fossil Sport smartwatch, had a second one because of my experiences with their battery life. It seems like Fossil, at least in the Sport one, because that was a cheaper model, maybe they cheaped out on the battery production or the quality controls, because the first one I had, the battery within a year had evidently a couple dead cells, because it would go down to about 40% and then just die, and that was pretty frequent, and it kept getting worse. I was really not even able to get a full 12 hours out of it by the end of it. So they had a sale. I bought the second one for, I think, 99 bucks or something like that. And for 99 bucks, that Fossil Sport smartwatch is actually a pretty good deal. It gives you pretty much all the features you could want at a really affordable price. It does have that 3100 processor, which is not very speedy, especially as the operating system tends to advance, but it's been pretty good. This 4100 processor has been actually quite good on this Gen 6 smartwatch. It's been fast enough for everything I need to do on this smartwatch. Really, I use it for text messages. I use it to basically answer or reject phone calls sometimes from my phone. I don't really take calls on it. I think that's a weird thing to do. The quality is not really great, so I don't do that a whole lot. I use it as a flashlight a lot and for Google Pay a lot. That's kind of the basis of what I use my smartwatch for and what I need out of it. Other than that, it's really just to keep time and to use the stopwatch and timer features, which I expect pretty much any watch, even a non-smartwatch, should be able to handle. The set of features I've come to love most on this Fossil watch are the 3 buttons located on the side. You've got your customizable top and bottom buttons and your rotating crown center bezel that gets through all your apps. So with mine, the way I've always set it up, I have my top one for Google Pay, and I have my bottom one as a flashlight. You wouldn't believe how often I use this flashlight mode. In a very dark environment, it provides a lot of just ambient light and makes visibility very possible. I'm still using the original band that came with the watch. The silicone band that Fossil basically produced with this has actually been kind of the perfect combination of durability and comfort. It is a very soft silicone, very flexible, but has been pretty robust. I haven't broken this one. I did break one of the sport smartwatches where the pin goes through on kind of the joint of the watch. That's basically sliced in half. And that hasn't happened on this watch yet. This Gen 6 has been pretty durable. Here you can see the upgraded heart rate sensor and pulse ox system, as well as the fast charging rings. This has not wireless charging on the Fossil watch. It uses actual contacts and a magnetic charger that has 2 pins on it to have basically a connected or wired sort of charging. It is 360 degrees, doesn't matter how you mount it, but it has to be a unique Fossil charger. It can't be any Qi charger like some others could. This has a quick charging, is what they basically advertise for it. For me, I don't really care about quick charging. I charge at night, overnight, and then in the morning it's ready and it lasts all day, so it seems kind of like a moot point to me, but at least the watch does come with it. It does have its speaker on the side. It has a knurled crown, and this watch gets a lot of abuse. And I'll see if I can wipe it off to get rid of some of the marks for you. If you can see the screen, there are no chips on it anywhere, and even the aluminum bezel has very few marks anywhere on it. And this gets pretty heavily worked, so I'm pretty impressed with it. It's gone swimming, it's done a whole lot, and it still looks great. So overall, I'm a big fan of this Gen 6 smartwatch. I think it's a great buy, and still in 2022, I think it's still very competitive, especially if it's still slated to get the Android 3.0. So it'll be keeping up with the latest that there is to offer. I'm excited to see the Pixel Watch and see how that compares when I get it. Should be only about a week now, so we'll stay tuned to see what I'm able to do with that, if I'm able to recreate kind of my favorite features of the Fossil watch, or at least my daily usage, and see how they compare. The 2 things I really come to complain about or struggle with on this watch, it's really only been about 2. One is when wearing the watch, whenever I bend my wrist, it hits that crown button and can sometimes go into a different mode, and I'm not really a big fan of that. The other thing is when using the Android Pay, when using the Google Pay, it sometimes takes a few tries to tap on something to pay. I've noticed the Apple Watch, those around me that use the Apple Watch, has a much easier time with basically the NFC Pay. This Fossil watch and my last Fossil watch and my last Fossil watch have all struggled a little bit being in the exact right place, sometimes having a couple misreads before it finally goes through. And I'm hoping the Pixel Watch really solves that problem. Hope you guys have found this review relatable. If you guys are using a smartwatch of any kind, I'd love to hear what kind it is down below, what features you actually use on a daily basis from those smartwatches, and how they work or how it doesn't work for you. For those of you that are interested in the Pixel Watch, let me know that down below too. I'll make a review. If you have any questions ahead of time, please post them. That way I include them in my review so you can see it for yourself. As always, if you haven't hit that subscribe button or that like button yet, please do. It really helps us out, lets us know what content to bring to you. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned for 4K Motoring.